I think this IP net has changed. That could be one reason. ifconfig. If you have enough people, we'll get it started. Okay, 192.168.1.6. 192.168. 168.1.6. That's exactly the reason. It's 1.6, right? 1.6. 6. Okay, I need to edit this. Where's the edit option? Okay, let me say. Close this button. Let's right, edit 1.6. And save. And try logging in. Yes, it got connected now. All right. Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to download the lectures. But what I heard is you should be able to download it, but I think pretty much soon they're planning to deactivate it, but I'm not sure whether that deactivation has happened. No, I'm just running my result. No, I'm just trying to get the, what do you say, WinSAP connected. So basically okay, yeah, even you guys might be facing that issue. So let me bring that out. So what was happening is I have saved my particular credential, okay? And that was by default, this was the one, 192.168.1.3. But when I pick up the IP address now, and don't ask me too much of network questions, okay? Anyways, in case if someone is there, I think some of you guys from a networking background or something, they may be able to, feel free to share. So what is happening just when I see this INET address, 192.168.1.6. So because of this, my WinSAP, I was not able to connect it. So that's where I just changed it, and I was able to connect to my WinSAP. No big fun now. So yeah, so basically, yeah, we should have pretty much a lot of time today because we have covered initial some 5 to 6 slides in our previous session itself. But my focus would be on to just make you, how many of you understand join over here? I think we have covered already join in one of our previous sessions, right? Everyone understand, or is there any single soul over here who doesn't understand? So no issues, okay? I mean, I'm supposed to get you, and pretty much, I just want you, everyone understand. Is there anyone who doesn't understand? No harm in telling you don't understand it, but yeah, even if you don't understand, we are not planning to go an extensive level of join over here. Very, very simple concept of join is what we are going to cover. So more than join stuff, I really wanted to have you guys the real kind of a data and make you understand concept like bucketing, partitioning. I mean, that's really what I want to focus on, because join is something simple which you guys do. But in case if someone doesn't understand it, let me just have a very high level walkthrough and not showing it through a example and all, but which I recommend you guys to do. As far as session is concerned, let's bring into some little advanced topic rather than the smaller one we waste time on it. Okay. So being said, I don't see any no answer. So everyone understand join? That's not possible. I don't think everyone is from database background or anything. There should be some guy who is, I can't recollect. There was someone from the marketing stuff or something, right? I mean, the very initial step. I'm sorry for the bad memory. There was one person who was there, not really into the, I'm sorry for my poor memory. But anyways, whatever. So in case if you guys agree, let's pick up through the slide some of those basic concepts. And in case if someone needs to have an iteration run for some of the concepts, let's do that. So what I want to do is I want to bring in slides. So today's agenda would be this is exactly what. So creating database, creating tables, altering tables, dropping tables. Very, very basic function which we normally do through SQL. well, any of those RDBMS environment. So Hive, okay, let's come to the question mode something from our previous session. What we covered. What? So one thing which you guys would be remembering behind the scene, what exactly is happening? What's the default database that's been used in Hive for storing its metadata? Default. Mac was very prepared with his summary, right? Yeah, immediate. Great. That was Derby. That's true. And understand that. Okay, what was the limitations? Okay, Mac, I don't want you to answer it. Now let's see how many of you are there. What was the limitations for using the Derby database? What really was there was a typical disadvantage of using a Derby database? Let's see if someone else answers. If no one, then you can give it a shot. But anyone recollect what exactly was that? There was an issue using a database, because of which we in AcadGill, I mean, the session what we have is being made with MySQL. So anyone recollect what exactly? I think no one recollects. Mac, in case if you recollect, you can give it a shot. What exactly was the limitations for using Derby database? It has something to do with a session. That's true. That's true. Multiple, it's not multiple users, basically, multiple sessions. That might be a wrong usage. Not users, but sessions. So let me show you, I mean, in case if you guys didn't understand what exactly was what I'm referring to. So now I have a Hive session over here, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to open another Hive session over here. But if it was a Derby, maybe it may just throw it in, but it's going to get itself, create so much of an issue here and there. It may not work as it's supposed to work. Here also, you properly set up every of those parameters. It may create some sort of an issue, but it's been handled. So you can see the multiple sessions now. This is exactly what I meant by multiple sessions. Hope it's clear for you guys. So in case if I was using the default Derby database, I will notice. So if multiple, it's going to system is going to get hung. It's not going to point us to right metadatabase and all those things. Hope it answers you guys. This small tricks may be handy. I mean, may become handy for you guys in case in an interview or something of that sort. So it's as we said. So some minor points makes others at least feel that wow, these guys know a lot of things, right? So that's one key point. So try to pick up some small stuff. Yeah. What else? What else did we cover? Yeah, I think Mac is a SQL user, is what I understood. MySQL user, right? You already said that last time. Is there anyone else who's using MySQL, who has experience with MySQL over here? MySQL database? Yeah, MySQL. Yeah. Oh, great. Okay, that's great, Akash. I'm working on SQL. Okay, fine. So anyway, be aware of how creating a database, right? Creating a database. You guys remember the command for creating database? Yep. Yeah, create database, right? How exactly I can see database? What are the database that has been created? Yeah, that's shooting at dark, Kaushik. Yeah, so it should be view. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Show databases. Yeah, that's the key thing. It's not singular, it's plural. Show databases is the one. So that's why I asked. MySQL guys might be knowing it. It's exactly the same replica of the syntax that's been used in this environment. So that's exactly the same. So let's do that. Let's see what else is okay. So order by, I prefer doing that using session rather than looking into the slides. Show databases, all those things. Yeah, creating all these things we did. So this might be a repetition for you. Create table with J, alt table. Okay, fine. So at least 8 slides. Loading. We have done even the loading stuff. Data definition. Yeah, let's put up aside till the slide number. All right. So what should be the first thing? Any chance you guys remember how exactly we brought in this? Okay, now let me go to now. Okay, now I am in a CatGill database. By any chance, anyone recollect how exactly we? Oh man, I have that command right in front top of the slide. It's a smart typo. Let me try covering it before you guys grasp it. Bye. Okay, now leave it. How can I go back to the default database? Let me use that. I'm right now in a CatGill. Okay, I just somehow managed to cover it. I'm right now in a CatGill database. That's what it shows, right? How can I go back to? Let me test your, a powerful memory. Anyone recollect that the one which I actually syntax which I covered? Anyone recollect how exactly I can see this part? A CatGill. This is the database which you used. How to make it visible. So which database am I sitting in? I'd give 10 out of 10 in case without any of this thing if someone is able to. Don't Google it and tell me the answer. Just trying to. So that's one simple way of remembering things, and that's exactly what I do. So initially, don't try to Google it unless and until you twist and tweak your brain and try to figure out. And that's one of the best way to learn it is what I feel. And even just start giving it a try, right? So there's no harm in it. So hive.cli, recollect hive.cli. Anything that anyone recollect, we have given a command. Let's open another session so that it's easy for me to. So my question is how exactly we brought in this CatGill over here. Hope questions are clear for you guys. Actually, I lost track since start of Fig, can't remember. Yeah, no issues. So what I would say, no one is expected to do it, but only thing is, I would say the practice. So that's something which you can. I mean, it may be lacking. So the moment you start practicing stuff so much, I mean, slowly, I think you should get things back in place and start playing around with it. It's some of the very simple stuff. Keep repeating it. You should be able to in a fraction of second to recollect it. But yeah, I mean, I guess Google has made us more lazy, and yeah, that's what everyone says. So why you need to waste your memory doing it? But I feel you need to. Okay, so let's try doing. Everyone gave me this answer: show databases, right? So I see that yes, a CatGill is there, default is there. There is something known as B1 as well. So in case if I want to get inside this B1 database, what should I be doing? I'm so much stuck in Hadoop. That pig seems like parallel universe to me. Okay. Okay, let's try it. Okay, what exactly is the, so I guess me asking question makes more help you guys to recollect some of this concept. Let's do that. It's fun too. How exactly I can get inside this B1 database now? I need your help. Mac, hold on, Mac. I know that you know the answer. Great. Use, right? So use database. So use B1, right? That's exactly how I'm going to get it. And colon, right? So now I can see only Hive. So here inference, right? Here it's showing a CatGill. So, and typically I'm telling you this reason because I've been conducting interviews. So in case I see a candidate who is really good, so if you want to become for the next level, this is one of the questions which I ask. Okay, I mean, so these are some minor intrinsic point, but in case we know, okay, I mean, he seems to be a little interested in some of the minute point that can really give a different impression to the interviewer. All right. Let's do that. So how exactly I can do this is what I'm trying to say. So set was the first keyword which you used. Hive.cli. Okay, this is how it starts. Anyone remember any of the keywords? So let's try to build a block in between and try to play around with it. Any keyword that you recollect that we used? Anyone? Hive.cli. Anything that comes in your mind. See, basically what we're trying to do is which database are you sitting in? I just want to get it displayed. So what do you think should be done? Okay. So intuitive mind, I should be printing something. Okay. And what is this? You're trying to understand which is the current database that you're using, correct? So I put a current, okay? And I said it's another database too. So DB equal to true, right? So maybe you can try recollecting all those statements, and this is where it is, B1. Okay, hi.cli.print.current.db. So current database, so that should be easy. Print current database, that's exactly what you're trying to do, right? So print current database equal to true, right? Before that, it's hive.cli. That's how to do it. Okay. And that's not really a very key point, but it's very helpful in case if you are playing around with multiple database and you're not sure which database are you in. All right, so let's come out of this session. How to come out? Let's quit and then exit. Okay, let's use only this session. Now, I think we created. So now, how will I see the table existing in this particular database? A catkit. What should be the command that I should be using for that? So this is a confirmation. So just making sure my connection is fine. You guys can hear me. So how will I see the table that is sitting inside this database? What should be the command for that? No one? Seriously? You must be kidding. Okay. Show tables, right? Show tables is a command which says how many number of tables existed in it, right? So that's employee. And describe and try to see as many. I think if you put a tab, one tab, it's going to tell you display all 456 possibilities. If you put a N to it, Y to it, it's going to give you the entire options available. So these are all the 456, right? Options you can play around with. Try to Google it and figure out what many of these things does. Frame, table, tan, timestamp, terminated. Okay, so all these things can be done. So that's what it is. Let's pick on to. Okay, now there is a command which we need to even know how exactly you can alter the table. This slides pretty much detailed explain what exactly needs to be done, how exactly you can do it, and we have gone through some of this part in the last session itself. Okay, now let's come up with and one more thing. Does now everyone recollect how exactly we have stored the data inside the table? So now I have employee table, right? You remember we have done select star from employee, I guess. Correct. Right? This is the table. Anyone recollect how exactly how did we load data inside this table? Anyone recollect? Anyone recollect the insert statement? How exactly did we load the data inside the table? Anyone recollect? Yeah, I was trying to. I purposely was trying to misguide you people so that you need to understand that there's no insert command. Yeah, now the latest added 14.2 version has it, but you hardly see only maybe 0.01% of an application where an insert command is being used. Reason why? Because we are dealing with billions of data, billions of rows. And if you do an insert command somewhere with giving values, it's going to take tremendously high amount of time. So instead of doing an insert, what my mechanism would be, I'll take exactly the same data which is there sitting inside a text file. I'll append the data in the text file and load it at one shot. That might be some 50 GB or 60 GB of data, but that works much faster than you trying to do an insert. It's okay that I was just trying to be really smart. I knew this is going to come. Insert into table name values. That's not how Hive works. So basically, there was a load command, just trying to, no issues. I mean, I'm not trying to get into, but that's pretty much fine. So that's one way of making you understand. Yes, you have done an insert command which is not correct. So next time you'll recollect, you should be able to easily recollect. Okay, this is where I have gone wrong. So it should be actually load data into this thing. No issues, perfectly fine. Okay, so yeah, so Mac has done that this thing. Load data in path. So you guys remember in path we have used. So in case if I want to take this data, so I guess this is something which you need to try, and it's very easily, very well documented in our previous session. Okay, so go to that code stuff, just copy paste it initially, and then try to play around with it. So unless and until you guys do that, it's not going to be an easy job. So if you do that, just practice it. It's very, very easy. So it's very intuitive. You can just figure out, okay, it should be load data in path. So in case if I want to load, and okay, next question now, where exactly? So the statement which Mac has set it for us, load data in path of the STFS into table name. Where exactly is my data sitting in this case? I'm going to load the data inside the Hive table, but where exactly is my data sitting? There are two different locations, right? One in my HDFS, one in my Linux environment. Where exactly is the data in case of the command which which I have highlighted? Oh, can you guys see the screen where can you guys see the chat window? With the highlight? Because I guess the window which I see might be slightly different. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah, because once I looked into the recording, then I realized, yes, yeah, that's how this software has been enabled, I guess. Not sure why exactly, what was the intention behind it. So let me copy just stuff and then put it. Okay, so that's only for the instructions. So now let's Control V. So this is exactly what Mac has pasted for us. Load data in path, this thing. So now my question is, where exactly is the data? Okay. Oh, yeah, he has clearly mentioned it. Path on HDFS. So this is exactly the key point. Path on HDFS. Make sure you guys are remembering this stuff. Yeah, that's correct, Sagar. Yeah, path on HDFS. So now, next question. Now you might be making a statement to yourself. These guys come here for teaching or asking only questions? It's been quite some time, right? Okay, now if it's going to be path on my client side, on my Linux environment, okay, what should be the change that I need to do? Now here's 10 path on HDFS. So is there any change that is required in the syntax? I think we made this discussion even in the last session. I was trying to load it. There was some issue with it. And I guess, yeah, Mac has corrected us where we need to. So anyone recollect what was the syntax that we used? Load it from the Linux environment? We have used a local syntax over here, right? Here or maybe deck data local, I think here or other than. So this local makes it, let's highlight it so that your brain registers it. Load data local in path from the Linux into table. Okay. That's what it is. And there was a key observation that we noted last time when we ran this command. Anyone recollect what exactly was that? Is this an issue with the session that has been conducted at 9:30? So you somehow want to sitting just right next to a bed. I'm just like, what do you call for that? Lori, I don't know. Uh, what is that? The kid, the mom makes to the kid. So it's like you switch on your Hadoop session right next to your bed, and yeah, it's a nice tune for you guys for going for sleep. Is it so? Okay. Yeah, jokes apart. Uh, yeah. So what exactly was the issue we found when we did this load later? I mean, it's not an issue. I mean, that's how it's meant for. I think I shared some story of my existing project, how exactly issue was created, and all those things. I thought story would make you recollect what was happening. So okay, let's recap. And so I'm assuming everyone understand what exactly is the story happening over here, right? With this load command and all those things. So just to recap, or just to get a high level refresher, I've created a table. Okay, everyone understand what exactly is the syntax for creating. There are too many. Everyone create table is just a syntax, and whatever it is, emp, employee number, employee name, and department. I mean, I'm not giving an exact syntax, it's a pseudo syntax because of so many people not really responding. So I'm assuming there is some sort of a gap over here. So create table, what I did, I created a table with 3 fields, employee number, employee name, and employee name, right? I've created a skeleton. And then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to load it with exactly the same a file. And this is exactly the file name. And this is the table name. Okay, thanks, Vikal. Okay, so this is exactly how the data is getting loaded. So till that, things are fine, right? Now we are pushing on to the next step, which is we got all the table created. We got all the table created. We did some sort of use database. We set up. Okay, there are some see alter command over here. You can just play around with all those things. Okay, alter command. So make sure you're trying this out on your own. And alter table employee rename into EMP. Okay, just doing it's pretty straightforward. Drop table, create a table, and drop it. Data definition. How exactly we saw last time. How exactly you can select it. Doing a group by. This is put command. I guess you guys should be able to know what exactly is being done now. Hive QL operations. That's what we are doing. Load employee data into employee table. Where clause. We are aware of what exactly we are doing in that. I mean, see, if I'm pretty much sure one single guy on this group definitely may find some difficulty in playing around with the SQL environment. So in case if that is the case, because I just want to make sure I'm covering each and every one of you. So just basics. What you need to do is, in case you're finding it hard to understand, basic SQL commands. Okay, basic SQL commands. Come over here. Command list or whatever. It might give you basic SQL, whatever it is, or maybe the W3 school might be giving you. So I have never used any of these sites. I'm assuming something will be there. So see that create table, insert tables app. Insert is not applicable for us. Update is also not applicable. So basically, okay, rather than doing that, you can see basic Hive commands is what would be much better. So that this should be top 5 commands and example. Yeah. So direct a blog, Hottenberg stock, create tutorial point. Yeah, basic. So just try to pick up some of these commands and play around with it. I mean, in case, but our documentation is clearly defined everything. But in case if there has been some command be missing, so you should be able to find all the stuff over here. Okay. I'm just trying to give you a pointer, but make sure you guys are practicing this. This is one of the very basic and very easy steps to handle, because this is not the expectation when you speak about. This is nothing but a pure SQL, and this is not Hive that we're learning over here. We have a little bit more advanced topics like that. So how exactly UDF can be brought in and how exactly unstructured data being played around to make it structure and then got into Hive. We need to bring in a little bit more complexity, right? So for getting into that complex level, the prerequisite should be you have the basic knowledge of how exactly SQL is working. That's all intention behind stating all, making you guys aware of such scenarios. Okay, now let's move on to HiveQL. Join, left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. I think in case if you guys don't know, session has been covered in the previous where I have drawn red color, orange color, and all those things. So where it was an explain what exactly is the left, what exactly is the right, and stuff like that, right? Full outer join and the join step. So make sure you're in sync with that sessions. So something which I really will show you guys is this one. Let's spend more time on over here. So I have close to 1 hour. So let's try utilizing this concept. Okay, analyzing Titanic dataset using Hive. So I am assuming that has been tried and tested. So even I have not done it. So that even some mistake that I do, that'll be a learning for you guys too. Okay, and in case if you guys have prior experience, help me out in getting this resolved. All right, I got good. Let's try. Let me have one real quick glass of water and come back, guys. My throat is getting dry. You can start discussing in case. Oh, but even if you discuss, you don't. So you said you can't see each other's chat, right? Is that the case all the time? Okay, that's pretty strange. So that way the communication between you guys is almost blocked over here. Okay, let me have a quick glass of water and come back. Sorry. Yeah, the lady called me. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So no one can see it is what I mean. That's how this tool is designed. No one can see each other's chat. So you sending this to the instructor is pretty confidential. Made confidential. Anyways. But I was under the impression that you guys can. Yeah, that's what. So that's pretty strange. So if you put it as everyone, then what is the purpose of making it as everyone, right? Oh, that means there is some loophole on this existing tool. Then, were you guys able to see it anytime before, or is it the first time none of you guys can see it? Anytime you were able to see each other's chat? But I think you guys don't even see the chat window at all. So forget about chat screen, right? Correct? Or was there any time that you were able to see the chat window? Yeah, then there's no point, no meaning that on everyone. Oh, before it was working. Oh, that's strange. Okay, that's strange. Yeah, maybe but I think this should be more. The software is Zoom, so this is Zoom technical issue rather than an Acadial technical issue. Now let me try speaking to those guys so that they can raise a technical ticket against Zoom guys and get it resolved. I'll bring this up. But anyways, now whatever you guys are putting it up, I'll try to make sure that's been conveyed to remaining folks. So no worries. Right now we'll have a workaround to sort that out. Okay, now let's do the real quick step. What we are planning to do. I have. What do you mean by we can use? There's a question from data. Can we use NoSQL database with Hive? What exactly you mean by that? Yes, there is a possibility. We have seen in the last session how exactly the Hive treated as a server, right? And what is happening is now Hive 2 version, which is, I think, Beeline. I have never used it, to be frank. The Beeline option, what it's doing is it's giving a very well-suited connectivity with the database. Yes, there is a possibility of even NoSQL database with Hive. So I'm not sure whether we are covering that, but I think, okay, no issues. I mean, no, we have not spoken about any of this regarding the NoSQL database, but even if you Google it, you should be able to get it. So there is one SQL which has been written where HBase, which you're going to, I think, no, but no, I don't have any exposure to the MongoDB. I have exposure to the HBase, which will be covered in this session. So I'm not sure whether that session cover the integration between Hive and HBase. So in case if it's not there, I'll try to recollect from. I mean, I'll try to get my personal note or whatever it is so that you guys understand how exactly. It's pretty straightforward and simple. We are just going to use some additional APIs which will help you out. Very, very simple stuff. So we are going to see that. But answer to your question, yes, there is a connectivity being established between NoSQL and NoSQL and a Hive table. Yeah. So let's pick up this guy. Okay, so everyone do understand what you mean by partition. So what we're trying to do is hands-on analyzing Titanic dataset using Hive. I think this dataset is pretty much a real dataset, okay? Because this Titanic dataset has been exposed to everyone. It's available, and if you try Google it, this dataset. So the data what you're seeing should be real live. So I think every passengers, I'm not sure how many, 1,500 or something. Every passenger's record data has been recorded, and how many number of passengers, what was their wealth level, and all those things. There is a Google, and there is a data being stored, I think, in the net somewhere. So where exactly? I'm not sure. You guys might have to search it. So that is the data we picked up by our tech team. Okay, so we'll go see some real live data and see to, and we'll try to play around with that. Before that, let's ask, anyone understand what is partitioning? What exactly is a partitioning? You might have been those guys who was administrator guys. See, whenever I ask questions, so make sure you are, what do you think about it? Just shooting at the dark. So I really appreciate your intuitive mind, how exactly that is. So that will help you to understand the concept much sharper rather than you sitting and listening to me. So what do you think of partitioning? What in the database concept, what exactly you think partitioning means? So if you can throw your insight, throw your ideas, that will help you to understand the concept much clearer than one-way channel. So anyone want to give it a shot? What exactly is partitioning? You think? Kind of, yeah. So the Mac said it's kind of classification. Yeah, kind of classification. That's correct. Yeah. So basically, what it's doing? So let's take an example. Okay. So an organization like IBM, Accenture, bigger organizations, right? The global organization, MNCs. So they have their presence felt, and maybe they have their offices in India, they have UK, US. Every of those locations, they have multiple employees as well, right? So when I say I wanted to do a proper classification or proper segregation of the data, employee data, what I'm going to do is think in India has got 1 lakh employees, okay, or 0.1 million, 100,000 employees. In India, they have 100,000 employees in 80,000 employees in US, 60,000 in UK. Okay, let's try to see it exactly the way it is, so that it's easy for us to recollect it. I don't struggle your brain so much. Okay, so basically an employee, 100,000, right? 100,000 in India. Yeah, we are one of the most in terms of population, right? And in US, let's take an example. We have 80,000 employees, right? And we say in UK, the list of IBM employees is what I'm talking about. Okay, IBM employees in IBM, and in UK they have around 60,000. It's all cooked up story. Okay. Okay, so this is the kind of data I have. So in case if I had all this data stored together in one single database, okay, and then I want to search employees in US who earns greater than $50,000 or maybe greater than $80,000. Okay, let's make it a salary. Salary. How can I bring dollar over here? There's dollars. Okay, so okay, those employees who have salary greater than $80,000 is what we are interested in. Okay, so in that case, what would happen? I mean, what do you think? So thinking that particular concept in mind, how do you think partition is going to help me out? If I would have segregated my data, Indian employees in one data space, UK in other data space, US in a different data space altogether, right? How does it really differentiate having all this together, and then I'm running a query to pick up only those guys in US? Let me make my problem statement pretty much clear. So I want my requirement is in US. Let's make it in India. Why in US, right? India, those guys whose salary is greater than maybe 1.5 lakhs, okay, per month. All right, 1.5 lakhs per month. In India, 1.5 lakhs per month. These are the employee of my interest. I want to target this particular employee, okay? And ask them for some money, that's it. Right? So that's the intention behind, okay? So how does it make a difference if all this data was sitting together and this data was segregated? What is the key benefit that you see over here? In case on the both ways. So in case of one single, every of this data was sitting in one single table, and if it's been separated by 3 different tables, how exactly it's going to, not separate table, I meant separate classification, the term uses. Access faster, exactly. So that's one of the key things, right? Store each country in separate folder to access faster. That's exactly what Chandran, that it is. So that's typically what you come to call as partition, okay? So if it's been placed in 3 different folders, right? So what is happening is it's much easier. So when I write a query, select employee where criteria I'm giving, where country equal to India. If the moment I give it, I need to bother about only this bucket. I just completely exclude this bucket, right? And then I need to go and search over here. So that's performance factor is very humongous. And what is happening? This is a very small data. So normally think of a scenario where we have a call or a credit card transaction or a call that is being made. So think of billions of records that's getting generated. And if I've been taking up one single row from these billions of data, it's going to take you some hours and hours, 4 to 5 hours if you come and fetch one single row of data. Okay, so that way, if a partition was used, it will directly go and hit this particular bucket. 50% of the bottleneck scenario has been removed, and the rest of the 50% is only one which you're going to fetch and get the data back. Okay, performance factor, correct. So that's all the. Okay, as Chandra has mentioned, okay, since you guys can't see it, I'm reading it out. Chandra has mentioned, store each country in separate folder to access faster. Exactly, so Mac has mentioned, performance will be better in case of classification. That's correct. So that's exactly what you're talking about. Okay. So hope everyone got at a high level what exactly is the partition, right? Now. Okay, so you can see it uses for distributing load horizontally. It enhances query performance, helps the organization data. Okay. The faster query response in Hive we can use by partition by country. So this is exactly what we spoke about. So think of I'm the CEO of IBM. Wow, right? And I'm the global delivery. I mean the global CEO, not the regional wise head. Okay, I'm the CEO, and then what I say is each regional unit head, I'm telling, okay, the guy who is managing India center, the guy is managing US and managing UK. I'm telling, give me the entire set of data of your employees to me. Okay, and I know that's coming from India. So the moment he sends me an email, Indian guy, so I'm going to take it up, tell it as, okay, this is coming from India, and the US guys also is going to say the same, UK. So I know specifically the data that's going to come in contain only data that has been relevant to the Indian region, right? And coming from the US employee, that is only for the US employees. I mean, US CEO or US whatever, you delivery head, it's only the US region. And the UK, so exactly I'm getting a file in advance. I know this particular file contains only those data that is for Indian employees, right? And that sort of a data is known as a static data for us. Okay, let's see what exactly is a practitioner's example. Let's move on. Type of partitioning, yeah. So that's called static and a dynamic partition. So the example which you spoke about, that those guys from specific region, Indian sending Indian. So I'm blindly believing that guy, thinking that yes, the data that he's going to send to me is only data that for Indian employees. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, just put a label to it stating that India. Just think of taking a sticker and putting it on the data set, India, and then storing it dumping into a table. The next bucket, the next file from US guy, I just going to put a stable or a label on top of it, putting it to the next bucket. So that's exactly static partitioning. Okay. Whereas in the dynamic partitioning, okay, let's deep dive into static one before getting into the dynamic stuff. When you use static partition needs to be applied when we know data. That's exactly what we said, right? So Indian employees, I mean, Indian CEO is going to send Indian data, Indian delivery head or whatever you got. We use dynamic partitioning. Okay. So is there anything to talk about? Nothing. That's it. All right. Okay. So when you use a dynamic partition, what exactly is that? So let's typically write it a little bit so that is this okay? Let me just spark a logical end to it. Means if partition column value is known, then we go for static case. That's exactly perfectly right. Your statement, Mac. So Mac has put it. If partition column value is known, then we go for a static case, right? So that's exactly what we have been discussing over here. I in advance know what sort of a data I'm going to get in because I'm pretty much aware of the file that I'm receiving. So that way, I'm going to use a static data. And more than what I know, it's like let's cook up a small scenario over here based on this particular scenario what we spoke about. Okay, so so what should happen? Employee ID 10. Okay, let's make this employee ID like END 1001, and then Sam or whatever, and then there's a region field, right? IND, which will be written as IND, and then this salary 1000. Okay, and what is the what do you call for it? What is the sort of denomination? It's rupees. Now, similar wise, US 1001, Peter or whatever, and he's from US, and then it's 1500, and it's plus DOLLR. And what is the next count? It should be pound, is it? Oh, POUND. I'm assuming spelling is correct. Let's make it as 600, 6000 or whatever. And UK, it's a region. And this is UK 1001. Let be Samuel or something like that. Okay. So basically what we're talking about, this three will be three different files in one scenario. Okay. So just to add to the point what Mac has defined. So basically what's going to happen is in case this region is going to be one and the same. So one column, which we are interested, every of those column for that particular file will be same. So if that's going to be the case, I can make it as a static table or static this thing, right? Because every of those file will contain this particular field as India, correct? And in this case, every of this particular field will be US. Okay, so it's okay even if I don't have this field, because an Indian employee, it's going to be an Indian delivery head who's going to send it, and he's not least interested in making it as India, because that file contains only Indian records, right? So I can just even remove this particular column from here. Even that's possible. Okay, so yeah, this I'm assuming you guys got the concept. So in case if someone has some sort of confusion on it, just let's repeat this stuff, or shoot your questions, whatever you have. Dynamic is the temporary data. Dynamic. Just Chandran has a question. Dynamic is a temporary data will be created at program runtime. Not really. Not really. That's not the concept that we have. We have all data as permanent data itself. Let's look into some of those. There's no temporary concept over here. This is, but dynamically what it's going to do is it's going to do the intelligent segregation. Okay. So I'm assuming everyone got the concept of this right? The static. So you're nodding your head will help me to understand. So since we are in a remote location, your yes or no will be the one which will help me to move forward pretty quick. So in case if not, I'll be under the assumption you guys are not able to get the concept, and then I'll be forcing myself to make you guys understand and stuff like that. So in case you get the concept pretty much fine, so immediately if you give me a response, that'll help. Okay, so US to Peter, Ronnie. Okay, Vikas says I need to relook the videos. Okay, so no issues. So that way it's fine. But do I mean see some concept I may not be willing to repeat because that might be a long repeat. But something which I can easily repeat it. So make sure. Okay, you said okay, this I'm not getting. So at times I may have to tell you no. I mean, why don't you go ahead and figure it out from the video, because that may benefit the other and be to the benefit of the other participants too. So that way. So, but some of the concept which you really think, okay, if I make it repeat once, and you should be able to pick up stuff and go ahead, so that'll make your job easy. And if I don't have to spend much time on it, maybe maximum 5 minutes, I'll be more than happy to repeat it so that you come along with the class and make it understand much in a swing. So whatever confusion you have, just shoot it. So whether to repeat the stuff or I want you to watch it again, that's me to decide on it. So just try to put it, the concept which you don't really understand. So if I can make it the one to make you understand, as well and good, right? So no harm. But what exactly? Mac has put forward some questions. So one question, okay. Suppose we create a table, but didn't specify any partition, but later on need to, yeah, you can alter partition. Later on, include a partition. Can we alter the table structure? Yes. So that's exactly we can do. You can alter the partition part also. That's correct. But yeah, then there might be some sort of data that you need to play around with. At times, you may not be sitting. Some data may not be sitting appropriately, so you will have to do the adjustment accordingly. But you can alter that partition still. To answer your question back. Okay, so this is the kind of data that we're talking about. So in this scenario, what I'll be doing is I'll be doing for a dynamic partitions. What will happen is intelligently, the system is going to take up all these guys who belongs to US and then pick them up in one single location. And India will be putting in one single location and UK will be put in the one single. This is done by the system because my file, there's one single file for me. From here, I need to pick and choose and store it to different location. Okay, Hive query executed from file. Hive query is executed from file. Yes, you can execute Hive queries from file. So the command used from script file and also from console. That's correct. So now, can you guys see the chat of everyone, or just since you're able to see the conversation of everyone, is it? Okay, great. All right, so that got sorted out. All right. Minus yes, minus F command. So Hive. So you guys can try out all those commands. So what we want to do is there is something known as minus F Hive minus F from file. There's Hive minus E. Okay, and then select star from. So you don't select star from table name. Okay, so Hive minus F. You can give the file name, maybe emp.txt or whatever is the file, .sql file, .sql file. Okay, that's .sql file, and that it's going to pick up that particular file and execute it. But you have one single statement to execute, and you don't want to log into the Hive environment because of some sort of a restriction that has been applied on your environment. You can do exactly this also, Hive minus C, and then you can run your exact same command. All right. Okay, refer to the link blog. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's start picking up at least half an hour we have. Let's do some sort of exercise now. So now I have my data code. Hands-on Titanic SQL, and where exactly is this Hive files? Okay, let's bring this guy inside documents Hive file, correct? So this guy let's bring over here, and Titanic dataset also let's bring over here. Okay, so hands-on Titanic SQL. Let's see how exactly it looks like. So I just made that. Yeah, this is how exactly it looks like. So create table, passenger ID, survival ID. Let's directly execute it and so any statement over here which you guys are not very clear about. So this everyone, I'm assuming everyone understand it. Create table. Everyone is fine with this, right? Anything, and the skip header light count is similar to the one property file which we saw, right? Setting this exactly similar to that. So skip header line. So first line. So let's even look into the data. So first line might be a header. I mean, even if I was searching for that particular. So skip header line count equal to 1. How many number of lines which we need to skip is what it's talking about. So let's pick this guy up and see how exactly the data look like. So it should be first line should be see passenger ID survival. Okay, got it. Means the column name in data file. That's exactly correct. The column name in data file. So passenger ID. See Andrew Anderson, M Anderson. So this is actual data. That's why it looks. So the real world looks so complicated, right? The easy word is just employee. The imaginary world, just like Shah Rukh Khan movies, right? So that's employee ID, employee name, and employee salary. The real world, which you and me live in, is this is the data, right? So that's exactly what I want to say. Okay. The passenger ID survival. So let's yeah, let's search for your name. Survival. Why exactly survived is given as male? That's very strange. Let's see how the data is going to look like. That's something I have not seen this data. So let's try to push this data into and see. Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys should be more interested in Kate rather than Leo, man, right? Okay, Jack in the movie. Right. So let's bring into the Hadoop environment and then play around. Okay, so we have the environment. Okay, Titanic is there. And now what we need to do is, let's build, and then okay, so now what we need to do, we have, I think it was placed inside documents, Hive file, right? Hive file and Titanic dataset. Yeah, this is the guy. Okay, so let's quickly run this guy. Before running, is there something which I need to bother about? Okay, so before that, load data. So Titanic out. So what we should be doing? So how do I? Okay, this is the command given. So what should I be doing over here? Let's ask. So okay, let me do this. First thing, I'm going to make you guys work now rather than me. Copy. Copy. That's it. And with my Hive table, this is Hive, and right click and paste. Hope the string and all those guys will be fine. Let's see. Okay, so show tables, right? I do have a Titanic table created, create table Titanic, everything is fine. So now describe Titanic or describe table. No. Fine. So looks pretty fine, right? Passenger ID, survived, all this stuff fine. Now what I need to do? Okay, so now this is the case. Now what should I be doing in this case? So this is the command which I want to run. So what should I be doing? I'm just trying to make sure that you guys remember from our second or third day session. So now this is the command given: load data in path, this thing into table Titanic. So what should I be doing now? I just want to run this command and make sure my data is loaded. So what should I be doing? Yeah, loading the data. But do you think if I run this command? Okay, let's do this. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly. So okay. That's exactly I should be doing, right? So I need to make sure that I have my data sitting. Where is my data right now? So I have my data sitting inside. Yeah, Hive file. This is where I have my data. So what I should be doing is right click and open in terminal, right? So what will happen? What is the advantage of doing that? When I do an ls command, I can see what are the files created, right? And I'm interested in this Titanic data.txt, correct? So I can straight away run over here, hdfs, dfs. I think before that I need to create this guy, Titanic output, right? Titanic out is what I'm going to create. I'm going to create a mkdir, right? And then paste command and enter. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm going to do hdfs dfs minus put and then Titanic.text. And then what should I be doing? I should be giving this location paste and enter. Right now I should have Titanic. So, and then I need to run this command, right? Most of the time when you're the initial stages, what will happen is you might give this not in the Hive terminal. You might be doing normally in the other terminal and then find out what is happening going wrong. These are all stuff that comes with experience, and then you try figuring out what is going wrong. I mean, even I have done the same thing so multiple times. So I'm just sharing my experience. So you need to understand that something you're goofing up. Paste. Let's see in path in table, right? So I have just my entire data is loaded in 1.69 seconds. So now let's do select count of star from what is the table name? Titanic, right? Let's get sensitive. Titanic. So what you should see here and reducer running. Let's see that. So I'm assuming everyone knows the mapper running. On Hive terminal, we can run normal Unix commands? Yes, I think. I'm not sure whether that's in Pig or in Hive, or in both. Let's give it a try. No issues. We'll just try. Yes, in Pig or Hive, we should be able to do ls minus lrt, all those things you should be able to, but not entire Unix command. So you need to understand that that's not typical every Unix command. That's only the wrapper that is just to an ls. I think you should be able to. No, so that's in Pig, I believe. So if I open a Pig, okay, for opening Pig, I have not logged in mine. So you can open the Pig terminal and then you do an ls command, then do a cd command. All those things should work in the Pig terminal. Okay, so what we did? Okay, how much is the data? So we have 891 rows. Okay, so that's what exactly was it? 891 rows. So let's see one data at least. Select star from Titanic. Limit 5, is it? Limit 5 is this right, man? Because it's exactly the same as SQL. I'm not sure. So Pig, yeah, it's limit 5 only. Yeah, at times that's one part where there's a high chance of you getting confused. Is when you start using your Pig and this thing. So at times you may goof up thinking which one is which one has limit, which one has another syntax. So this is the 5 table that you see over here. Okay, there is another command set hide of CLI dot print dot HADAR equal to true. Okay, and then yeah, so that's exactly what it is. So Titanic dot passenger. So basically, what I did is I was just trying to get with this command. I'm getting the printer. I mean header enabled. So basically, I can see over here, passenger ID is 1, survived is 0. Okay, so basically that's an index kind of a value, 0 and 1. 1 means survived, 0 means not survived, something of that sort. So since it's an actual data, it's been data for some sort of analytical purpose. So that's what it is, right? Command person. Okay, let's see something of our interest now. So that's the data. Okay, let's try running this commands now. Okay, find the number of female who survived in the crash. Okay, so that's where it is. So where survived equal to 1, that means who has survived. So 1 means he's alive, and yeah, you should be able to see your Kate over here then, right? Some guys who was looking badly for it, and sex equal to female. So that's exactly what we're going to see now. So it's going to give us a number. So that's okay. So that's, yeah. Average from Titanic was survived equal to 1. All right. So different math functions. So make sure you guys are also trying all those things. I don't want to do every of those. What I can see is I don't see. Okay. Oh, my intention was showing you. Okay, there's an actual data set basically to play around with. Let me see what more. My interest was to show you guys more with bucketing and partitioning concept and so on. Okay, so enable editing. So let me see if we can run this. No, I can't run this. That's bad. Okay, so I guess even the next session. So let's try to not waste much of the time over here. So we have pretty much close to 10 minutes. So just to show what exactly is the partition and what exactly is the bucketing. So what we'll do is during our next session, we'll actually run all those things. I'll prepare those data and keep it and show you guys. Okay. So that data, what we see over here, in case you guys are so keen on finding your number of guys. So yeah, 233 guys have survived. So women, 233 women actually survived this particular crash is what it means. Okay, and how many? Just for a curious sake, since it's a genuine data. Okay, so that means how many? Oh, wait. How many males survived it? Let's see that. So 233. How biased was it happened in what, 1944, 1947? The Titanic crash? Or 18? Yeah, let's see how many men survived that. 233 females survived it. 109. Oh, that's pretty a huge number. Okay, it's 233 and 109. So I think, yeah, only Sapna is there as 1912, is it? Oh, okay. April 14th, I believe. Okay, I don't want to get into those discussions, Vikalp. Yeah. It's all right. Let's move. Okay, let's. Where exactly is the Hive table? So what I want to show you guys is okay. All right, creation of good table. Okay, so let's see this, and then we're going to execute actually the same thing in the next session. So just to make you understand how exactly a partition table looks like. So I was assuming there should be a bigger partition table. So if I'll try to see if there is a Google existing data available, so with which you can really try to understand the concept in a pretty closer way. Okay. So basically what I did is, or what we're doing over here is create table partition user. So basically this is just a table name. Okay. So only thing what you need to understand, it's sad that I can't copy this statement. This given, no. Okay, so the key part where you need to focus on is roll number. There is first name, last name, roll number, Okay, and then look at the partition by country. Okay, just to make you guys. Where is it now? Okay, so let me open this another spreadsheet. So basically, what we said over here. Let's try to record this stuff. Okay, so that's going to be first name, last name, roll number, partition. Okay, roll number. That's it, right? Right. That's all we have. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's first name, last name, roll number. Okay, partition by country and state. So that's exactly multiple partition we used. Row format, delimited by all those things you guys know. So just partition by country. This is all. Let's make it as one single one. Okay, let's partition by COUNTRY. So this is not there when I do a cable creation. So basically, when I do a select, I can't see this country, right? So this is partition by country, and this is exactly the example I just talked about, IBM case. So I don't have that in mind because that file doesn't contain India or US, right? But I'm going to write a statement partition by country. I'm assuming you guys got it. In case no, let's repeat. I can't see your chat window. Okay, now I can see. Yeah. So is this fine? Is this concept? First name, last name, roll number. That's all. If you would select, you'll be able to get it. But it's been partitioned by using country. Think in the real-time scenario. This the IBM CEO example which you spoke about. That's exactly what's happening over here now. Okay, so that's one thing. Then create two input files. Okay, this has been created. Two input files are created now. User input, user info one. Okay, and then see this is what. So user info and take it to Florida. So leave about this part right now. Forget about this one. Let's bring it up. So basically what is happening? So user info, basically user info. And this was data that is coming from US guys, right? So Satyam Kumar 89, okay? Roll number 89, and that particular file was US. So I'm having country equal to US. Okay, so I'm just going to store that. And then I'm telling, exclusively I'm telling, okay, I want to store it, country having it as US. Okay, so that one will get stored. And the next one, I'm going to make it as country as, what is this? Country equal to CA? Okay, whatever. So that's how you store the data. So when you do a select star from, so this is where you can see. Yeah, might be. So whatever. I mean, so this is exactly what your select stuff is, and these are the two additions. That is nothing tree. So leave about this part now. It's a two. I mean, there's no need to understand this concept. This is the concept you need to understand. So data will be very constant, right? So first file, it will be complete. It will be showing US, the entire file, right? And the next file, if you do a select, it's going to show you based on your data. So basically, this data should have both CA and. So we need to take this data exactly how that data is being classified. So CA. So how exactly the second data is being stored is what we need to see. Load, state equal to US. Load data to partition, country equal to CA, state equal to AU. Okay. So country DA, state equal to AU. Okay. So I was confused about this part. So there's nothing but this field has got expanded a little over here. So it's exactly the same thing. Yeah, fine. So this is fine. now dynamic partition. I think what I'll do is it's better to explain is through showing it rather than this way of doing it. We'll do this particular stuff in our next session. So I'll just try to create some, if I can manage to get some bigger data, add some bigger data in place. So but due to this conversion to Mac to Windows environment, I screwed up a lot of stuff because I created for my session. So that's much easier to explain. But let me try to pick that up stuff. The only thing what you need to understand over here during our next session is, let me open the floor for maybe 2 minutes questions. So see the data, how does it look like? See some data is from US, some is from CA. It's all mixed data, right? And how exactly I create a table, dynamic table? You can see create table, partition by country. Okay, the next phase. The next phase, table needs to be created with all columns, including country and state. Yes, so that's a major difference that you'll see. Yeah, let's do it in the next session rather than giving you just a bookish read. We'll try to execute this stuff and then explain it how exactly it's working. So what you will be seeing is in case if I pick up this data, okay, where is it? I mean, that example looks a little confusing part for you. So how does the data look like? So this all data, the US, whatever is being picked up as US, okay, so that should come together and store it in one bucket or one folder, as someone has said. This should be stored in the next file, and this should be stored in the next file. So this is exactly how it's going to see. Okay, so that's what we're going to see in the next sessions. Okay, so Mac is saying one thing which I observed practicing Hive, when I give select star command, no MapReduce shows in the console, but even for count star MapReduce show in the console. No, that's exactly how it is, right, Mac? So when I do it, what exactly mean by select star is going to give you exactly the snapshot of whatever the data you're storing in. So exactly it's going to point to a location, take the entire file, and then it's populating it. But whereas when you do a count of star, what exactly are you doing? You're doing a math. You're doing a calculation on it, right? You're taking each line by line, doing a calculation on top of it, and then you're showing it. Okay. So what should happen in a distributed environment? It should go to multiple nodes, need to take up a summary, and then a mapper should come in, and then a reducer should come in, counting all those things, grouping it together, and then show your result back. Whereas in case a select star, it's just a pointer. It just need to chain it. First, it will go to the first node, take the entire data snapshot, point to the next node, exactly is the next portion of it sitting, basically the block size. It's keep chaining and showing it. There is no real math involved in that select star. Whereas in a count of star, there is a math involved. So any math involved, it's going to do a map reduce concept. That's exactly why you see. Okay, so basically, in case if no one understood what exactly Max was asking. So Matt's question was, when I give select star command, no map reduce job is running. But when I give select count of star, a map reduce job is running. And I gave an answer for that. Okay, so yeah, we passed 1 minute across. So let's spend a couple of minutes if anyone has any questions. Anything regarding partition, anything bucketing. So we're going to see a bucketing and partition concept in the next. Bucketing is what we're going to see. So bucketing is what we say, subdividing the partition. So that's exactly what you need to have in mind when I say bucketing. Okay, I already have a partition being done like India, like US or something. So I'm just going to take up India alone, and then I make it Karnataka, Mumbai, or not Mumbai, in fact, Maharashtra and all the states, right, inside. So I create a bucketing based on state. So inside a partition, I'm going to make a small portion. That's exactly a bucketing for me. Indexes are supported in Hive. That's correct. Yes, but it's not as extensive as what you see in the the normal SQL environment. Indexes are supported in Hive. But I mean, to be frank, I have never worked on indexes in Hive. But yes, it is supported. You can create indexes. Yeah. Any more questions? Let's use maybe a couple of more minutes. If anyone has any questions, let's shoot it. Maybe 1 more minute. If anyone has any burning questions, or we'll wind up and see a lot more practical examples so that you guys are in sync with what's really happening with the environment and you have more better, clear picture of what's happening. So I'll make sure I'll run this practice. Sorry, what is it called? Partition, bucketing, all these things. I think I should be able to pick my data back. Okay, that's sitting in some other environment, right? Okay, let me give it a try anyways. To run those concepts, which will make you help understand. Maybe in case I don't get a huge, big data, I'll just try to do a very small data and then try to run some of this concept. Very small in the sense maybe 100 or 50 data records, and then we try to play around so that you understand exactly how in the real-time environment, partition, bucketing, and all those things. For making you understand bucketing, we need a little bit more extensive data. Let me see if I can manage to get some of those. Can we export Hive database? Export Hive database. Yes, you can do that. That's for that is what we have. We have tools like Scoop available for it. So entire Hive database can be picked up and bring into a NoSQL environment. Import and export is possible from Hive. So for that is very powerful, a very, very simple tool. We are going to cover that in the coming sessions. Scoop. Scoop is being used for that. I don't want to hold you guys anymore. So it's 10:34. In case no more questions, let's wind up. And just try to practice some of this join stuff and all those things, whatever is being recorded in the in this document, what has been provided. And just Google yourself some of those basic commands and try to play around with it. It's very, very simple in case you practice, and that will help you for coming up for the next session as well. Things will be much, much easier, and you should be able to handle it much better way in case if we do some sort of a homework. Just not more than 15 minutes. I can guarantee that. Just more than 15. I mean, just once your environment is set, just spend some 15 minutes, run some couple of commands. You will get interest to it, and then you should be able to, go in a very smooth flow. Okay. All that being said, you have a good night, and speak to you guys on next Thursday, coming Thursday, in fact. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Good night, then.